Hi everyone, it's Erica at Moonlight Book Reviews, and it's time for another review. Alright, so the book I have is 292 pages, and it's Kiss of Night by Debbie Viguie. And Debbie wrote, she wrote a couple other books with Nancy Holder, Damned and Crusade, and another series that's more of witches. But this Kiss of Night one, when I was offered it, the company publisher told me that it was Christian fiction suspense, and since my policy kind of goes against things with undertones, they wanted to know if that was alright with me. And I read that summary and I thought it would be fine, and I kind of was wondering, after reading the synopsis of it, like, what was the undertone? And after reading it, I would say I kind of got it, but it was more of the mythology and the background into vampires that I would say was the undertone. And there's a lot of other things that you can go into, but if you weren't going into the book too much, going into people's personalities and, like, the decisions they made, and, like, if you weren't going into that, then I wouldn't see the aspect at all. But going more into the plot, the beginning was little bit slow, the whole getting to Prague thing with Susan, but after we got there and we started meeting more with Raphael and kind of getting into it, it sped up more, and I really liked how Susan knew that Raphael wasn't good and she tried to stay away from him and she tried to do everything without him, yet she knew that in some way she had to go with him and she was drawn to him. And I liked that, and I liked the choices that she made. And there's a couple other twists and turns in there, and we get a couple other kind of minor characters in that kind of help, kind of like fighting against the opposing forces here, if you want to say that, if we're getting more into terms here. I like Debbie's writing a lot because she keeps it lyrical, yet she kind of adds the shock value of the action and suspense without kind of making it be too choppy, which is very, very nice when you're trying to kind of read through a book. And it's only 292 pages, so it was a very quick read, and I'm kind of surprised that it's a series, because it could totally be a standalone, but now that it's a series, I think that it will totally go more into depth into the world, and I can't wait to find out what the characters' journeys are going to be. I like the cover because it kind of has, like, the long hair. I never know how guys can do long hair, but this one shows it. And we're always getting girls on the front of our covers, if you haven't noticed in young adult. And I found it was kind of refreshing to have a guy on the cover for once, because it's kind of a minority to have guys on the cover, because usually it's girls in ball gowns kind of running around, which I like. But diversity is good. But if you want a good book to read, I would definitely recommend this book for you. And don't be turned away by the Christianity thing, which some people might be, because I know I would if I wouldn't have kind of read the synopsis first. So I definitely recommend it, and happy reading!